Lending a green card is equal to a fine, the documents are not left, and legal immigrants are not safe. A 60-year-old legal permanent resident of Rogers Park in Chicago was asked on the street where his documents were. I answered yes, but I didn't bring it with me. I got a $130 ticket on the spot, and my friend was taken away because he had no identity. As soon as the news came out, community gatherings, human rights organizations voiced their voices, and social media fried the pot. The same question was repeatedly thrown out and forgotten to bring it. Is it also punished? Today, we restore the scene according to the news logic, give a professional interpretation, and attach an operable self-protection list, with less panic and more methods. Before the video starts, please subscribe to us little blue people, comment on this video, like and forward. One on-the-spot restoration started from the time of October 9th when one was not with him. The location was Rogers Park. After a group of federal agents approached for routine cross-examination, it was confirmed that the party concerned was a green card holder. He still thought he was carrying immigration registration documents with him and issued a $130 fine, and his friend was taken away without a license. Then a rally was held on Clark Street and Lunt Avenue. About 400 people attended, and their demands focused on the principle of proportionality of law enforcement boundaries and community trust. In a word, the legal provisions have not changed, but the strength of human law has changed. Second, what does the law say? Obligation in dispute also in. Key points. Only one non-citizen who has reached the age of 18 should carry with him a federal registration document that directly shows the immigration status category. What counts as a green card? I-94 stay record, EAD public card, etc. They can directly see the identity category and legitimacy of your praise. What doesn't count? Real ID? Catch ID? It proves that you are you, but it doesn't prove what identity category you are. Consequences. Failure to carry can be regarded as clearance and may face a fine or court appearance. Practice. For a long time, this law has been called sleeping, and the text of the provisions is independent and low in application. However, when the number of road inspections increases and law enforcement discussions are turned, this spare tool is easier to be used. Therefore, this is not a new law that is strict, but an old law that is new. Tighten with the knob 3. Why does it become harsh at the moment? The sense of misalignment between targets and means, the tension between caliber and weakness, claims to hit heavy and high-risk targets. As a result, in reality, there are forgetful compliant residents, and public opinion naturally fries up. There should be a describable objective basis for reasonable suspicion in the emblem area of the border. Once the accent, appearance, and surname are justified several times, it will be designated to selective law enforcement. The sunk cost of trust is visible in the short term, but invisible in the long term. Without trust, the reporting rate and witness cooperation will turn downward, which won't be better. In a word, being tough is not a universal glue. It can stick numbers, but not intelligence. 4. What does this $130 fine mean? 1. Compliance does not mean zero risk. Even if your identity is fine and you can't prove yourself on the spot, you will pay time and money costs. Second, carrying it with you from a suggestion to a rigid need. In some cities and stages, this obligation, that was originally applicable at low frequency, will be implemented specifically. 3. The frequency of law enforcement increases, and the friction increases simultaneously. The more checks and road inspections, the higher the probability of border disputes and accidental injuries. This is not an emotional judgment, it is an empirical law. 5. How can professional interpretation be both decent and effective? The principle of proportionality uses expensive law enforcement resources on quantifiable legal objects, KPI beautiful, but its marginal contribution to violent crimes and cross-border smuggling is limited. If we really want to improve the sense of security, resources should give priority to high-risk chains, instead of brushing the sense of existence on people who forget to bring their documents. Procedure restraint. Lanting should be able to review, verify, move verification and release on the spot, which is better than pulling back to the institute for a spin. Data transparent disclosure of lanting data, so that the public can see that it is not there. Using appearance accent to make shortcut comments is legally tough, and it should be matched with verifiable temperature, otherwise it will strive to slip into a tense sense of ritual instead of a safe sense of gain. 6. Minimum self-insurance list for different groups of people. Green card holders bring federal documents that can display their identity categories with them. The original green card is the first choice, and the alternative is I-94. Print page EAD work card double backup Japan, plus mobile phone high-definition scanning cloud encryption. Safer delivery location at home, and your family knows where it is. 3 sentences on the spot. 1. I have legal status and am willing to cooperate with the verification. 2. The certificate is with me or at home, and can be presented or delivered in time. 3. I hope to reserve the right to be silent and assisted by a lawyer. When I get the ticket, I will pay or appeal within the time limit. Do not save the bill after the time limit. Law enforcement number. Dialogue points. Copy of the 3-piece passport information page for non-immigrant status holders. I-94 EAD. The name, birthday and identity category are unified before and after, and the address change involves registration obligations. Declare in time to avoid review caused by incomplete procedures. US citizens are not bound to carry immigration registration documents, but carrying a copy of ID passport with them in high-frequency law enforcement areas can reduce misidentification, friction and cross-border interrogation, clarify citizenship, refuse unreasonable body searches and bags, record law enforcement information, and complain or seek legal assistance when necessary. 7 or 3 sentences are qualitative. 1. Legal but undecent. The provisions are there. It is neither smart nor cost-effective to force them on people who forget to bring their documents. Second, being tough does not mean being effective. What really determines the sense of security is precise strike and procedural fairness, not the number of tickets. 3. Trust is the prerequisite. Without trust, the community sinks. Once the community sinks, crime will hide in the shadows. Replace tension with preparation. This is not to scare anyone, but to remind everyone to send the possibility. Life, treat it as if it will happen. Prepare, bring what should be brought, be consistent, and reserve necessary rights. I also leave a question for you. Do you care more about the authority of the law or the boundary of law enforcement? Tell me about your experience or your friend's experience in the message area. What is effective? What steps on thunder the most? Like us, please subscribe to us. Little blue people, comment on this video, like and retweet.